You ever just sit back, take a deep breath, and realize everything changed? Not all at once, not overnight. But somewhere along the way, Hollywood stopped being creative and started being predictable, lazy, safe. A hollow machine running on nostalgia fumes and identity politics. Let's trace it back to the beginning. This may take a while. I will try to be as quick as possible while also giving as much detail as possible. Here goes. It started when the suits in Hollywood realized nostalgia was more profitable than originality. So instead of new stories, we got sequels, reboots, and remakes. And yeah, let's talk about it. Strap in, let's trace it back. Back to where the dominoes really started to fall. The Force Awakens, which should have been a love letter to fans, instead introduced us to Rey, Jedi Jesus, a character who learns the Force faster than Anakin, Yoda, and Obi-Wan combined. Without training, no journey, no struggle, just boom.
I bypassed the compressor.
All-knowing, all-powerful, and somehow boring. Then we got episodes 8 and 9, which nuked every remaining brain cell of what was once the most iconic sci-fi saga in history. Luke Skywalker, sad hobo milking alien walrus nipples. Han, pointless. Leia, force-flying space, Mary Poppins. The franchise got sliced, diced, and retconned like a Twitter argument. And let's not forget, this is Disney Star Wars. George Lucas sold it to Disney. So, episodes 7, 8, and 9, and also every Star Wars series on Disney Plus is their creation. This is what they gave us and continue to give us. Hey, remember all that lore you loved? Luke Skywalker is a hermit who drinks green milk. Han Solo is a deadbeat dad, Palpatine, somehow returned and no one cared enough to explain how. Also, they all die. Every original main character is killed off. All of these new characters are forced on us. And just like that, the galaxy far, far away became a corporate diversity checklist in space. But if that didn't ruin your childhood, here comes Ghostbusters 2016 with a proton pack full of cringe. A film so bad, the studio tried gaslighting us into thinking we were the problem. Spoiler, we weren't. An all-female cast wasn't the problem. The problem was the entire movie forgot what made the original so damn good. The tone was off, the jokes didn't land, and the ghosts looked like they were animated by PlayStation 2. So what did they do? They tried to erase it with Ghostbusters Afterlife, Hollywood's official "we're sorry" letter to fans. They tried to retcon the disaster, bring back nostalgia. Now we've got Frozen Empire because apparently ghosts cause climate change now? They tried to win us back. But if you thought it couldn't get any worse, or that it just stopped there, oh, I've got news for you. Brace yourselves. It does. It really, really does. James Bond. The man, the myth, the martini, dead. Literally. No Time to Die gave us a Bond who cried more than he shot people, and then, spoiler alert, blew him up. They introduced a new 007, played by Lashana Lynch, who instantly becomes better at everything than Bond, of course. Why train for decades when you can just be born perfect? And let's not forget the writing credits. Phoebe Waller-Bridge was brought in to punch up the script, which in translation meant neutering Bond, making jokes about toxic masculinity, and tossing out any trace of what made him iconic. It's like trying to remake Die Hard, but turning John McClane into a vegan TikTok influencer who apologizes for guns. Phoebe Waller-Bridge writing quips like she's working on a Fleabag/MI6 crossover episode. Oh, and don't forget, here comes the new 007, because apparently Bond isn't just a name now, it's a number you hand out like a Costco membership. Then there's Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. They wheeled out Harrison Ford like a museum exhibit, only to let Phoebe Waller-Bridge, again, take the spotlight. Remember when Indy was clever, rugged, and charming? Now he's a tired old man getting verbally bulldozed by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, who, surprise, just happens to be smarter, stronger, and more relevant than our beloved archaeologist. Now there are much more examples of other movie franchises, television shows, Marvel, DC comic books, and even in video games. Politically correctness, and even worse, wokeness has infiltrated everything. I will cover these more in depth in later episodes. I'm just lightly touching on them to give examples. Meanwhile, back in real life, 2016 happens, and half the country loses its damn mind. The people who screamed about free speech in the Bush era, Suddenly they're censoring words, phrases, thoughts, even jokes. Every story has a hidden agenda. Every studio is more concerned about identity points than storytelling. Welcome to the era of checkboxes and box office bombs. Then came 2020.
Viral pneumonia has hit central China's Wuhan city.
Center of the outbreak in China and 2 others going on lockdown.
The risk is low in the United States.
COVID hit, lockdowns, no theaters, no sports. But we did get Tiger King shoved down our throats like it was peak entertainment. Joe Exotic was the king, and we were his prisoners. Streaming became the new movie theater, and somehow Hollywood got even lazier. Everything became political. The country was divided like never before. Every movie, every headline, every conversation seemed to come with an agenda or someone getting offended. Schools in parts of the country kept kids out of classrooms for months. A vaccine was pushed hard by big pharmaceutical companies and the U.S. government. People lost their jobs. It was take the jab or get fired for a lot of folks. Nurses, first responders, firefighters, police, people on the front lines were given an ultimatum, jab or job. And the kids? They suffered. It felt like we were being hit from every angle all at once. And as if that wasn't enough, even the late-night talk show hosts went political, every single one of them. They all picked a side and ran with it hard. These shows used to be about jokes and entertainment. Now, they're just glorified political soapboxes with punchlines written by diversity hires too afraid to offend anyone. 20-plus writers per show, and this is what they come up with. And then there's Greg Gutfeld, on Fox News no less, beating them all in the ratings. That's how far they've fallen. They stopped being comedians and started crying. And honestly, who's even watching late-night TV anymore? The answer? No one, because things are finally shifting. Word is Stephen Colbert's show is getting the axe. Not just him, the entire Late Show franchise is done. Gone. They're not replacing it, they're just pulling the plug. And remember when they tried to keep the laughs going during COVID with Zoom podcasts from their living rooms? No writers, no studio staff, just them and their webcams. And it was worse. So much worse. Without their giant teams to hold their hands and pre-chew their jokes, they were exposed. Just painfully unfunny dudes in cardigans trying to be cute while the world burned. But then, out of the ashes, one man rose. A short man, with a 1,000-watt smile and the heart of a fighter pilot. Tom. Freaking Cruise. Top Gun. Maverick wasn't just a sequel, it was a miracle, shot with real jets. No green screens, no AI-generated explosions. Tom fought to get it in theaters, and guess what? Audiences rewarded him. $1.5 billion later, he saved cinema. Now Cruise is back again with a franchise that has defied logic, gravity, and common sense since 1996. Mission Impossible. Each movie has somehow gotten bigger and better. The stunts, real. The stakes, nuclear. The plot, sometimes confusing. But hey, you're not here for Shakespeare. You're here to watch a guy jump off a cliff on a motorcycle. And now we've got Mission Impossible, Final Reckoning. And let me tell you, it delivers. Final Reckoning is a throwback to real filmmaking, actual tension, real characters, practical effects. Tom Cruise dials it up to 11 and again, and the villain is actually interesting this time. Yes, it's long. Yes, some exposition could have been cut. But when you've got Cruise jumping off mountains and saying, "We're not using CGI, you forgive the bloat." This is spy cinema at its peak. So while Hollywood keeps handing over legacies to committee-led scripts and TikTok consultants, Tom Cruise keeps making movies for us, the fans. And until the rest of the industry catches up, I'll keep my IMAX ticket reserved for Ethan Hunt. You know, after all that, it's almost poetic that we end with Mission Impossible. Because in this wasteland of soulless reboots, political lectures, and studios who think Twitter likes equal ticket sales, here's Tom Cruise, running, jumping, risking his actual neck for our entertainment. No agendas, no lectures, no subverting expectations until the franchise is unrecognizable. Just old-school movie magic with stunt work that makes your jaw drop and a story that remembers we came here for fun. And maybe that's the real impossible mission. Making movies for the audience again. Mission Impossible. Final Reckoning isn't just a sequel. It's a reminder of what Hollywood used to be before it decided to eat itself alive. So here's my advice to Hollywood. Stop chasing hashtags, stop rewriting classics, and for the love of all that's cinematic, just let people make great movies again. Thank you for watching and listening to my rant. Please like and subscribe.